Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're back here at Genesis of Freehold, and just like yesterday, I said to the dealer, if I want to get into a Genesis, but this time a G80 because I need more room than what's in the G70, what's my lowest acquisition cost? Here it is, a 26 Genesis G80 2.5 turbo with all-wheel drive. Capri blue is the color. We have the new camel leatherette interior, so you can let me know what you think. If you're looking for a base trim G80, is this the kind of action you would go with? You can let me know as we go through the car, so let's dig in. The front end of this G80 in the Capri blue. As we move in, we have a full spread of LED lighting up front, but we do have now the chrome bling on the upper part of the G80 grille with the Genesis wings on the middle of the hood. We do have functional side air curtains. Now as we come around to the G80 wheel and tire package, it is an 18-inch aluminum alloy wheel, Genesis wings on the center cap. The wheels are wrapped in Michelin Primacy all-season tires, 245 on the width, a 50 series sidewall 18s, all four corners, all-wheel drive. We have McPherson front strut and multi-link suspension in the rear. As we move on out, there is that Capri blue with the chrome bling around the windows and a little bit more silver on the wheels of this G80. Let me know what you think. I'm a big fan of this Capri blue, though, I have to tell you that. As we move in closer, we're going to have the Capri blue side view mirror caps. The LED turn signals will be on the fender. As we come on back, we do have body color on the front and rear door handles. Up top, color matched roof, shark fin antenna, no sunroof. Then over the back we go. We have the deck lid kick up here on the back with some chrome trim in and around that rear backup camera with a full spread of LED lighting in the rear. Genesis spelled out across the back, G80 on the left, all-wheel drive on the right. And our exhaust, that's a dual exhaust, is tucked up on dual exhaust finishers, I would say, are tucked up underneath the rear bumper. We're under the hood of this 26 G80, and we have the Genesis 2.5 liter turbocharged inline four-cylinder engine, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission, 300 horsepower, 311 pound-feet of torque, MPGs, 20 in the city, 29 on the highway, and 23 combined. And again, we have those front strut braces, stiffen up the front end, give this G80 a sportier ride. We're at the back left quarter panel of this G80 at the fuel filler door. And what do we have? We have a 17.2 gallon gas tank. We have a gas cap, so Genesis is not using capless fuel technology in the G80. And we have a minimum octane rating of 91, so you'll need to use, as you can see right there, premium unleaded fuel. Before we get into the interior, you're going to want to know, Mike, how much? Well, here we go. G80, even at the base trim level, is an expensive proposition. Here we go. Base trim 2026 G80 2.5 turbo all-wheel drive is $58,450. This vehicle's got a couple options on it. We'll check those out when we go through the window sticker, once we add those in, and a destination and delivery charge of $1,495 from the Genesis Ulsan, Korea assembly plant. We have a total vehicle MSRP from the factory of $61,085. So let's check out the interior. Starting with the driver door panel, we'll move in closer, and we are going to have the new camel as the official color. So let's call it saddle or tan. Soft material across the top. Then we have the piano black trim with a little bit of a design in it. Give it some depth. Into the aluminum door handle. We have two memory seat settings for the driver. The armrest is nice and soft, and we do have silver trim, aluminum trim on the switch gear with power fold side view mirrors. As we move on down, a nice large door pocket in here. Into the foot box, we have a nice large dead pedal brake and accelerator with the floor mats in the trunk at this time. We do have the illuminated Genesis door sill place to welcome you to the vehicle. That is an option. And then we have Seating wise, full power with lumbar for the driver and the front passenger. Then this is the new Camel leatherette with the stitching and the perforation. The bolstering feels soft. The headrests feel soft. Front passenger door panel, same action as the driver, but you don't get memory seat settings. And I'm sorry, I don't care if this is a base trim. At 61 grand MSRP, the front passenger should have memory seats. As we come up to the dash, again, we have a lot of different layers, which I like. All the same color, though. You can get a two-tone with black in here. This one is all new camel. So new camel all the way up at the top. Then the new camel soft touch with the stitching. Again, more piano black plastic with brushed aluminum trim into the heat and air vent. And we do have a large glove box, and it is a locking glove box. Now here is the 27-inch OLED screen, all one screen. And this side here is your infotainment screen, wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. Nice pinch to zoom capability right there. On this screen, you can work it from up top or you can work it from the controls down below. But we can go to our home button. Here's all the tiles. Look how quickly that responds too. It really is a well-designed system. And then we can go all the way over here again or swipe it all the way back. There you go. You got your map. You can set up your navigation, Bluetooth your phone, hit the setup. You got a 3D setup. Voice memos, there's your Sirius XM HD radio data, climates, seating, we can go right in there and we can adjust, we can hit the passenger seat right here, we can adjust the seat back, we can adjust the seat bottom right here. So it is really cool. You can recline it up and back using the screen, which is interesting. I don't know how many people are going to do that when you got a simple power switch on the side of the seat, but it's fancy, Dan. What are you going to do? You can bring up your climate controls up here as well. You can set up your climate, sync them together right from here, or you can do that down below. So they do have redundancies in place, which I do like. Go back to setup, vehicle settings this time, and this is where you can get your active sound design. Of course, that's pumped in exhaust noise to make it sound cooler. Some people hate it, some people love it. I'm kind of ambivalent about it. And then you can set up your climate, you can set up your lights. Here's our lights. We do have ambient lighting in the space trim, which I do like. We can go in here. You can go ahead and select your color. You have a color mood you can select from here. Or if you don't want any of these, you can set a custom color by spinning the wheel. So we want to match it with the interior, and then you push OK, and you have your custom color now set on the inside of the vehicle. And then you can go back to home. So it is a really nice, easy system to use. Now, we are going to go to reverse. There it is. We don't have 360-degree view cameras, but the camera is fairly large. It is clear, and it has trajectory, and you have other views right there. We can go back to park, and we're back to the beginning. So nice and simple. Now, as we come on down, push button start. Now, a lot of gloss black here, so they should have done something different here. This is going to get really crappy the more you touch it. But here are the controls down below for your infotainment screen with a volume and tuning knob. Underneath that are the controls for your climate system, including your 3-stage heated seats for the driver and the front passenger, and a 2-stage heated steering wheel. All right there. More gloss black as we come down. And then we have a couple of dials. I'm not a fan of the dials. This dial you can use if you don't want to touch the screen, you don't want to use these buttons, you can use the dial. It's like double redundancy here on the G80. Now, as we come down further, we have your auto vehicle hold right here. This is the dial to go through this 8-speed automatic transmission. We do have engine auto stop start on or off. Drive modes, we'll check those out when we go through the dash. Then we have parking cameras and parking sensors with 2 cup holders. And then your Genesis key fob. This one in white, looking okay. As we flip it over from left to right, you have your panic button, pop the trunk, unlock and lock. And then if you flip it over the other side, you have your remote start. And then if you push this, look at all that black. Yeesh. And now we do have an area here, store your phone, that's rubberized, which is nice. And then we can push this button, up, open they come. We have a felt lined area for storage, a couple of USB-Cs, and a 12 volt. The Genesis G80 wheel, it's a leather wrap wheel in that new camel color. Nice 10 and 2 notches, feels good. The Genesis wings on the horn button, round bottom wheel, but I have plenty of room to get into this G80, no problem. Now on the switch gear here, I'm going to have brushed aluminum around the edges, but then gloss black on the buttons that I touch. On the left side, you're going to have your adaptive cruise right here. On the right side, you're going to have your telephone voice commands, and you're going to have the controls for the digital portion of your dash as well as volume. We do have paddles to go up and down. This 8-speed automatic manually if you would like. On the left stalk, you have your headlight controls, turn signals, high beams. On the right side, windshield wipers. This is your drowsy driver detection camera. Right in the middle, over here on the left, bright and dim the dash, traction control off, pop the trunk, electric brake, and then we do have an electric tilting and telescoping wheel, and we do have what they call easy exit. So when you have your memory seat set and you turn the car off and open the door, the driver's seat will move back and the steering wheel will move up to let you out of the vehicle easier, which should be in really any luxury vehicle. Glad it's in this base trim though. Now as we come on in to our instrument cluster, there it is, the other half of the 27-inch OLED system. Now let's check out those drive modes. So here we go. Sport, that's my or a custom. Eco, comfort. And with a G80, I think we'll start off in sport mode today. And then you do have additional info you can go through. So you can bring that up. You can change your themes, as you can see. Bring your maps in like that. Change things around. Depends on what you want to see. Looks pretty good. And then you can change the dials as well. I kind of like this one better. What do you think? Looks pretty cool. The overhead console, now this is not my favorite. It's a very old style, old color on this overhead console. They redesigned the G80, I believe, for the 25 model year, and this did not get replaced from the old version. And I just think it looks too old manny in here. You let me know. But we do have a place for your shades. We do have an SOS button in case there's an emergency on the road. You have Genesis Connect to connect the vehicle up with your smartphone or to talk to Genesis. And then you can, with this button in and the orange light on, open the door. The LED lights come on, and when you close the door, the LED lights go off. But I really would like to see them modernize this overhead console area. No power roof to show you. We have a frameless rear view mirror with auto dim and home link. And then we have our sun visor with vanity and an LED light. And does it slide? Yes, it does. Getting into the back seat of this G80, but first the rear door panel, we have the same use of materials and same vibe. All the way around with the new camel, and then we have the piano gloss black, soft armrest, nice consistency design. I have the seat set for my driving position. Now the G80, a bigger vehicle, we're going to have more room in this one than we had in the G70. But we still have a sloping roof. So I'm going to put my right leg in, duck, twist a little bit, get my left leg in. Now, I still have to duck, probably 5'9", 5'10", you're going to have to duck. But now, I got at least 2 inches of headroom in here instead of maybe a half inch in the G70. Plenty of shoulder room and much more room for my knees back here. And we do have the leatherette. Then we go with what I thought they should have done in the G70, a plastic back with a leatherette cover to make it soft and a seat pocket behind the driver and the front passenger. A couple of heat and air vents here. I guess there's a rubberized area to store things there. And then we do have this huge armrest right here that pops down. And when you look at that, you're going to have 3-stage outboard rear heated seats and a couple of cup holders. But again, all piano gloss black plastic. That's going to get gross. And then a soft armrest, and we can open this up. And we have a felt-lined area to store your phone with a couple of USB-Cs. And if you don't want this down, you can put it back up, and you have a pass-through to the trunk as well. So they got you all set in the back of this G80 for plenty of space, comfort, and your connectivity. Getting into the trunk of this G80, well, it's a manual trunk release, so you can pop it from the key fob, you can pop it from the dash, you come to the back, and right above the backup camera, there's the button, you hit it, it goes right up. Nice wide opening, 13.1 cubic feet of cargo space in the back of G80. We do have the new camel floor mats. They really went all out on this new camel on this one. And then underneath this floor here, we have tools jack and a spare. So thank you for the spare. Then we have some accessories right here on either side with a cargo net, but you can't let the rear seats down in this G80. That's why you see that pass through in case you want to put some longer items in that way. Window sticker, here we go, 2026 G80. The Genesis Experience. Standard features, left and right. The options, the paint, first aid kit, illuminated door sill plates, that's it. 61,085, still an expensive proposition. MPG estimates. Safety rating's not done yet. Parts content, 3% US and Canada, 80% Korea. Final assembly, Korea. Engine, Korea. Transmission, Korea. Let's take her out for a spin. All right, now we're out in this 26 G80. I love driving these cars back to back. It really gives you a good feel for what the vibe of the car is. Now this G80, the seats are incredibly comfortable. They're much softer, they're much luxurious, they feel a lot better. If you're into comfort, these seats are much more comfortable than G70. Because at the end of the day, the G70 was a sporty first or sports sedan first, luxury second type of car. This is definitely luxury first, sport performance second in this G80. Seats are so much more comfortable. You have better visibility out of the windows. Again, blind spot monitoring, cross traffic alert, lane keep assist, pre-collision, all that's in here for safety. LED lighting up front and out back for safety. You got the new 27-inch OLED system. That's their new system. I'm not a big fan of this just being stuck on. I like the visual of that G70 dash better than I do of this, but it's got all the latest tech. Wireless CarPlay, Android Auto. You got heated seats, you got a heated steering wheel. Neither one of these base trims has a wireless charging pad, and you got heated seats in back of this G80. Plus you got more room, but you have a much heavier car. The G70, a little under 3,700 pounds curb weight. This one, a little bit over 4,200 pounds curb weight. So this is a much heavier vehicle with the same engine, same horsepower, same torque. So the G70 is going to give you more of a kick in the pants when you step on it than this G80. This is going to give you that luxury ride rather than that sport performance ride. So it all depends on what you like. Now the turning radius in here is wider at 19 feet. But it still gets around okay, right? This is all-wheel drive, but in regular conditions, you're in rear-wheel drive. All right, folks, we've moved it to sport mode and manual shifting with the paddles. So let's see what this baby has. 3, 2, 1. Now that sounds a lot better, folks, with the same engine as the G70 because this has the active sound design, the pumped-in fake exhaust sound that we have set right now on largest change. Sounds really beefy for a Turbo 4, doesn't it? But you know what? This gets up in boogies too. Now it doesn't, like I said, give you that kick in the pants like the G70 does with this engine. It's much more, you know, luxurious. It takes a little bit longer to speed up. But it certainly gives you a sporty feeling when you're in sport mode. It does change the personality of this G80, which I like, because if it doesn't change the personality of the car, what's the point in having sport mode, right? All right, I'm going to go through this a little bit. I'm going to shut up and see you can enjoy it. It really has some get up and go. We're going to go back to regular drive now, back to comfort, and it just relaxes. You can feel everything relax. So I like the different personalities, but this is a much more of a luxury car. And if you're looking at MSRP to MSRP, to get into a G80 with minimal options, and this only has, I think, 2 options on it, 61 grand. To get into a base G70 with only a couple options on it, 47 grand. So we're looking at, what is that, 14 grand more for this car, if I do my math right? It's a big difference. But if you want a more luxurious ride, if you need more room for backseat passengers, the G80 definitely is a more luxurious car, definitely gives you that extra room. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to tell me. Now that we've looked at both of these entry-level base trim models, the G70 is the least expensive way to get into a 2026 Genesis. Across the board, the G70 is it. If you want into the Genesis brand, that's the car to buy for the least amount of money. Or do you want to step up to the G80, still stay with the base trim, because you want to try to save money, but you're willing to spend that extra dough to get that more luxurious ride, to get some more luxurious appointments, some upgraded tech over the G70. And you let me know what you think. But I wanted to bring you both of these base trims. The Genesis brand has gotten insanely expensive. These cars are in no means cheap. But what Genesis has effectively done is stolen the sports sedan segment from Infiniti. You know, back in the mid-2000s, Infiniti was the sports sedan premium brand king with the Q45 and the Q60 and the Q50 and others. And then they've petered out, and Genesis came in and said, I'll take that, Infiniti. Thank you very much. We're going to be that sport luxury brand that people go to. And right now, that's the action. And not only have sports sedans like the G70 and the G80, they also have sport performance SUVs like the GV70 and the GV80. So you let me know what you think. Put it in the comments. But I do want to thank Genesis of Freehold here in Freehold, New Jersey, for allowing the channel access to this brand new 2026 Genesis G80 2.5 turbo with all-wheel drive in Capri Blue for a review today. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. Please also drop a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this car. Give it some hype points. Get it up in the rankings in the YouTube algorithm. That would be much appreciated. And as always, please also consider subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you never miss another Shabby's Rides video. And I'll see all of you on the rebound. Take care, everyone.